yourself, because you never know when that person is going to try to cut your throat. If not literally, then, just by their actions. No man can serve two masters. And if somebody doesn't think like you do, the only thing you can do is walk away. You can bring it to their attention if you like, but you know what? There's a fine line with that, because I'm not about trying to persuade people to be and to think like I do. So you all don't want to fall into that of trying to change people, because you can't, because they'll put on an act for a while, but then eventually, they've got to go back to being who they are, because a devil can't fake it forever. People get tired of pretending to be something that they're not. They get tired of maybe coming home and hanging out with you, and then not being able to hang out with your enemies when they're not with you. They get tired of acting like they like and love you, but then not being able to kick it with your enemies when they're not with you. Because if they like your enemies, they can't be too much for you. They can't be for you, but for so much. I'm not wording it the way I want to. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. People are going to be loyal to whoever they invest in. That's what I'm talking about. So if they're investing their time and their energy and their money in your enemies, that's what they are to you. It's just that your interpretation of them does not see it and view it that way, because they do spend perhaps a little bit of time with you. They do spend perhaps a little bit of money on you. And then for some of you out there, they don't spend time nor money on you. It's just your heart is gripped around them. And you're running off of your love for them. Love has to be reciprocated. Loyalty has to be reciprocated. It's a give and take type thing to make a relationship work. It's a give and take type thing to even make a friendship work, or a business partnership work. One person can't be given the smaller percentage and the other person given a larger percentage. It has to be 50-50. If it's not 50-50, it's not going to work at all. You have to get with people whose mentality is up on the level with yours, and who, if their mentality is not on your level, they are willing to advance because they want to be a better person. They want to be a better man, or they want to be a better woman. But I'm telling you, this loyalty thing, me personally, I don't play about that. I do not play about that. I can understand anybody being children or teenagers and, dealing with two-faced people, because that's what you do when you're discovering who you are. But by the time you become a man or a woman, I feel like you need to have a no tolerance policy as it pertains to people that are trying to play both sides of the fence. Because if you're loyal to yourself, why should you invest your time and energy and money and emotion in somebody that's not loyal to you as well? It just does not make sense. With somebody like that, you're working counterclockwise. Because for one thing, you don't know if they're feeding your secrets to your enemies, and your enemies are just sitting there, getting a kick out of what they think they know about your business. Let's just say if you run a business and your business is not prospering as well as you would want, that's none of your enemy's business. But if you're dealing with somebody that is dealing with your enemies on a friendly level, they can go talk about you to your enemies just like they come talk about your enemies to you. Any dog that bring a bone will take a bone. Come on, am I talking to somebody out there? So you have to be mindful of the people that you allow in your inner circle, especially if you're somebody, you have an entrepreneur mind. And you may not have your finances right now, or you may have your finances right now, and you're trying to put a business together. You don't need to be confiding in people that are confiding in your enemies, because your enemies are all I believe, I could be wrong, but I think they're always going to try to go ahead of your game to try to sabotage you. They're already going to try to put it out there what you're doing and try to convince other people, well, don't support her business, don't support his business, and don't do that. And because we have a lot of weak-minded people out there, they are easily persuaded by people that are trying to convince them to go against you. Now, that's not a knock to anybody that has been persuaded by somebody to go against somebody and then they later regretted it. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about your enemy that can persuade other people to go against you and become an enemy and stay an enemy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not talking about people who, once they have stepped into enlightenment, they go, you know what, I'm not going to go against this person just because this person is talking about them, because I personally don't know them and they haven't done anything to me nor anything to anybody that I love and care about. See, that's somebody that is standing in their own power. That's somebody that's standing in their own truth. That's somebody that is about it with themselves. That's somebody that has taken authority over their own life. They don't let nobody tell them what to do as far as who to be friends with, who to date, who to marry, who to go out with, who to like, who not to like, whatever. That's an adult. That's what that's called. Adulting, yes. I know that's probably not a word, you guys, but it's too close to adultery for me. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to go in and conclude this conference, but I just had a word that I just wanted to put out, and, hopefully something that I say has helped somebody out there who you might be in the valley of indecision, meaning you're indecisive even about yourself. You're indecisive even about yourself. What decisions you should make, who you should befriend, or anything of that nature. You have to get with people that you are like-minded with, that think like you do. I'm not saying you all think exactly alike, like the clone of you or anything, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They share your dreams. They share your hopes. They support you. They're glad for you. If you win an award, they're the loudest one out there in the audience. Let me tell you something, then I'm going to close, because I'm going to go and put this out, and I don't care who don't like it. Years ago, a few years back, they were holding a graduation ceremony in the area that I came up in. And I'm going to tell you how trashy the area is. That's what it used to be. It's getting better. But they had this, and in a way I can kind of understand in a way why they would want people to be silent, but I see both sides of the fence, to be honest. In another way, I don't. Because at the graduation, they wanted everybody to be quiet. When the graduates' names were called and they walked across the stage and they were saying something about, oh, if anybody yells out, they're going to be escorted out of the building, and they had the police up in there. I'm like, is it that serious? These are teenagers whose parents have worked, a lot of them have worked their finger to the bone to put their children through school, buying clothes and computers and books and probably and clothes and all of that, and I think I said clothes, and just trying to help them with their homework. And you mean to tell me that these kids have arrived at the end of the road to get their diplomas, and when they walk across the stage, that parent or those family members or those friends aren't supposed to feel joy and want to be like, yeah, you did it, you go. You mean to tell me that they're trying to put a mute spirit on somebody and tell people, oh, well, if you holler out, you're going to be escorted out of the building? You know what? Let me tell you something about people like that, who always want to rain on somebody else's parade and try to control what everybody else do. I'm not telling nobody to do this, but they would look like some fools if they got to the building and won't nobody sitting up in there. Oh my gosh. Because you don't need to go to their graduation in order for you to graduate. In order for you to say completion, certificate of completion. And I'm not saying this to be trying to influence nobody to do that, but this is what I'm saying. People act like they make you. No, they don't make you. You make them. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess with that said, God bless you all until next time, and make sure that you get with people by which you are like-minded. Okay? Bye-bye.